name's Jules and welcome to my podcast, So Sweet Violet, where I share the crafty side of my life. This is episode 38 and today is, I need to check, the 26th of April. The weather report is, it could mess up the recording. It's one of those really lovely, well I think it's really lovely, cloudy / sunny spring days, and everything is looking green and lush outside. But the sunny / cloudy weather can play havoc with recording a podcast. So let's see how we go. What should I start with? I forget everything. It's only been a month. I shouldn't forget everything. Oh, where you can find me. So you can find me as So Sweet Violet on Instagram, on Ravelry. We also have a Ravelry group if you'd like to join there, where we just have a chat. I run knit-alongs and what else do we do over there? It's like a welcome thread. I'm not that active on there, to be honest. I'm a little bit rubbish when it comes to that, but it is there. You can also find me on Etsy, where I sell my sewing patterns. I used to have this written down where you could find me. Oh, and I have my own shop, which is www.sosweetviolet.co.uk, where you can find all my handmade goods. So I think that's it. And also, I keep forgetting to mention this on podcasts, but all of the podcast show notes will be on my blog, which is also So Sweet Violet, and you'll find all the direct links to there, to everything I talk about today, and to the places you can find me. So I just need a quick cup of coffee. I have a really scratchy throat, and I had a cold a while ago, and I thought it was that lingering, but actually I think it's hay fever. I think it's giving me a really scratchy throat. So I might need to drink a bit more than normal. This is one of my lovely Emma Bridgewater baby mugs that I had personalised. Oh, so delicious. I just love coffee so much. Okay, so I have something really exciting to start off with, and that is what I'm wearing. Last podcast, I think it was my dream knitting, the Flory cardigan by Libby Johnson. And it's done in a month. I can't believe that. I shared a little video on Instagram this morning, so I can't believe I've done it in that time. But I guess I should show you here as well, so because this is what it's all about, isn't it? Sharing. So let me stand up. Move my furry chair. So yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'm definitely going to be making more of these. It was a joy to knit. Starting I found a little bit tricky because you had to do provisional cast-ons and quite a lot of stitches are on hold at different times, but once, it's one of those things that I didn't understand. I should sit down and chat for this bit. That I didn't understand when I read the pattern, but when you do it, it kind of makes sense, so don't be put off. And other than that, it was literally plain sailing, and I love it. I think it's my favourite garment I've knitted. So let me show you. Let me stand back here. It's a lovely kind of, I don't know what you call it. It's like a drapey. What's this shape? I don't know, but it's really pretty. It hangs really nicely. I also really love this edging. It's got an I-cord edging on the body of the cardigan around the neckline, and also the cuff. Now I made my sleeves a little bit, let me show you, a little bit too long, because I have this thing lately that I can't bear when sleeves are too short. It really annoys me, so I thought I'll knit them a tiny bit longer, not taking into account that when I did a gauge swatch for this, that it grew when it was washed and blocked, so I kind of forgot that. But But saying that, I just want to show you the I-cord is really pretty, but I do quite like it cuffed. So, I mean, I could easily change it because it was, the sleeves are knit down, but I'm not sure I want to. I quite like this cozy cuffed look, so I might just keep it like that. And the pattern's beautiful. It has set-in sleeves, which was so easy. And I wouldn't say I'm a garment knitter. I've only knit a few garments. So I would say if you want to have a go at this, have a go, because honestly, it brought me so much joy. The whole time I was knitting it, I just loved it. Let me see. Go a bit forward so you can see it all around. Yeah, I really love it. The lace pattern is beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's gorgeous. And this yarn, let me sit back down. And the yarn is from my lovely friend Amy, who is half of Dandelion and Dogwood. And the colourway is She's Naked, and it's on their Clouds base. And I use 3 skeins. And this is all I have left from 3 skeins. Just a tiny little yarny nest. So that was pretty good going. Oh, also I made one change, which was to add an extra lace repeat because I just felt it was just a tiny bit short. So other than that, I knit it to the pattern. I think I put all my notes on Ravelry, but I think I went up a needle size as well, which is normal for me. I'm quite a tight knitter, so generally when I knit something, I always know to go up 0.25 of a size. So yes, so this is my lovely flory cardigan, and I couldn't be happier. And I really want to knit, I think, a dusty pink one. Yeah, I think that would be really nice. So this is my first finished thing. Oh yes, I've got some sewing, and I need to ask you actually. I have two things of sewing to show you today. I'm not sure whether you'd like it just all combined, like all my finished things combined into one finished things section, or if you'd like a separate knitting and sewing section. So I'd really love your opinion on that. So if you could share that with me, it'd be great, because this podcast I make for you, so I really want you to enjoy it. My second finished thing is this little rabbit's bag that I made. So cute. I filled it with chocolate Easter eggs. But we have to remember, bunny is not just for Easter. Bunnies are for all year, forever and eternity. As you know, I love a bunny. And this is my pattern, and it's called Little Rabbit's Bag, and it's in my Ravelry shop. And I also, I can show you those in a minute. I also released Little Rabbit socks a few weeks ago. And I just want to thank everybody who has purchased that pattern and this pattern and been knitting away on them. It's so lovely. There's nothing nicer than when you write a pattern or make a thing, or it's just nothing nicer than seeing people enjoying those things in their own lives, in their own homes. And yeah, I love it so much. I find it so heart-filling and satisfying that people are enjoying what I do. And thank you so much. I really, really appreciate any support given to me. So yes, this is my Little Rabbit's bag, and it has a cute little drawstring. Oh, it's so sweet, even though I say so myself. How cute is that? And it has a little, what do you call this? I-cord tie. This one I knit from my most expensive yarn ever. This was some yarn that I bought from Scrumptious Pearl, and it came, I think it's Canada, it came from Canada, and I ended up paying a lot of import duties and post office fees, and it turned out really, really expensive. I love it so much, and I made one of my most favourite pairs of socks out of this, and it's called A Bushel and a Peck, and it's such pretty colours. How pretty is that? There's a little bottom. And I just used some, I don't know, cream, I don't even know what that was, and I used the same for the tail. And they're really cute little bags, just to store treasure, and it has to have a little tail. So yes, so I made my little bunny bag, little bunny's bag rather. Okay, I've been debating, this is another thing. I don't know if you can help me with this or not, but I've been doing a lot of designing work lately, which means, well, which I thought meant that is kind of secret knitting, and I guess that's up to me. But when I design patterns, I never know whether to like share them with you. Do you like to see sneak peeks, or do you like a surprise when the pattern is released? I've always gone along with surprise, but maybe you'd like sneak peeks. So anyway, I'm changing things up today and seeing how this goes. So my next pattern release, I've been working on for quite a while, and it's now in tech editing. So it should only be maybe a month before it's been edited and test knit. And so I thought I'd share it with you early. And these are another pair of socks, and they're inspired by my lovely boo, Mabel, who is my gorgeous little shadow whippet. And she does the cutest things with her paws. She just crosses them so daintily, like just the cutest little puppy paws. And I'll put a photo in here. And this is what inspired me to knit these socks. Her cute little crossed over feet. Oh my God, I love it so much. She's just so cute when she does that. So this next pattern is inspired by Mabel, and they're going to be called my Mabel socks. I'm going to talk about the sock blocker in a minute, but you can see that. So these socks have a really, really delicate cable, really simple cable up the side. It's hardly anything to do. This cable is just so easy. And let me see if I can get really close. You see, they're like little Mabel's crossed paws. Oh, so cute. So let me start from the beginning. So these are going to be my Mabel socks. Should be out about in a month. Should be out in about a month-ish. Toe up. So it starts with my beanie toe, which is my favourite toe ever. Then it has this beautiful cable, and I've created, I don't know which side you can see best. Maybe you can see better this side. I've created a little mini gusset here. It just increases just a few stitches so that when you wear the socks, it's not as tight over this bit, because sometimes when you have a heel like this, it can be really tight across here. I find that. And so I wanted to make a heel that doesn't do that tight thing, and just fits really nicely. And also this heel will be fantastic for stripy socks, because the gusset is really short, the amount that's increased, so it won't affect stripes, or hardly at all. And so this would be a perfect heel for self-striping socks, which I'm going to try actually now I've said that. This is my new heel that I've designed, and it's a German short row heel, and it's made with double stitches and not wrap and turns, which I love. I think it's the simplest way to do this kind of heel, and I love it. It's worked out really well. As I said, it's a little bit deeper because of the mini gusset, and when you get up here, we just decrease them. Perfect. And I'm so thrilled. It's taken you look at these and you think, oh, they're probably really quick to design, but actually this has taken me a lot of brain power to get this healed just as I want it. And the cable just goes up into the rib, which I thought was really cute. They are knit, this pair are knit with gorgeous Kate Celine's yarn, and this is Candy Floss. It's her self-striping, which is so cute. I bought this yarn a long time ago just because I just loved it. I love the zingy neon pinks and the stripingness of it. It's just lovely. And the mini was actually just a random in my Beautiful Bits basket, so I'm not sure what the mini is. And Kate has really kindly agreed to make me some sock sets. So there'll be this gorgeous Candy Floss stripe, and she's going to do a matching mini for the heels and toes. And so I thought, I think I might make some kits. So there'll be some lovely bags with a couple of really cute surprises. So when this pattern comes out, there'll also be Mabel kits. Do I need to say anything else? Really exciting. But let me tell you about this sock blocker. Oh my goodness. These are from Dandelion and Dogwood, as you can see. And these are their new sock blockers, designed by Amy, who is just amazing. And look, it's got her dogwood. How can I show you that a bit better? Put it on my shirt. There we go. It's got these beautiful dogwood flowers all down it, so it allows the air to go through to dry your socks. And on my next podcast, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for these and something else from Amy. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. Okay, so I think that's everything I needed to say about my Mabel socks. And I'm so glad Mabel has her own sock pattern. That makes me really, really happy. Okay, I'm going to have a quick drink because I'm getting thirsty and scratchy in the throat area. I hope you've all been well since I saw you last, and I hope spring is springing here. I guess autumn's springing in other places, but I just hope you're enjoying the weather, whatever it brings. I have fluff on my lip. Whatever season it is, because autumn is just as beautiful as spring. No, spring's a bit more beautiful, I think, for me, but it's so lovely. Everything's lush and green. And I had quite a few comments on my last podcast saying how much you missed our walks. So there's some footage of Mabel and I on our lovely bluebell walks at the end of this video. So I hope that makes you all happy. So I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast that I had some sewing to show you. And I have been wanting to do some dressmaking for the longest time, but for the weirdest reason, and I don't even know what, I was too scared to do it. I think possibly I get kind of cross and frustrated with myself when I do silly mistakes or things don't turn out perfectly, which is so silly. And this phrase keeps going through my head, and it's, you can choose perfectionism or joy. And that's so true, isn't it? Because being a perfectionist takes the joy out of things. So I decided to just go for the joy, and I made myself my first top. This is the Lark Tee. I'll show you a bit more detail in a minute. But this is the Lark Tee, and I did this version, which is the boat neck, but I did the long sleeves on this version. And you know, it was really quite enjoyable. I traced my pattern onto pattern cutting paper because I didn't know exactly what size would be good for me. So I was chatting to Amy, little tailoress, and she kind of guided me through it a bit. So I traced the size that I thought I was onto pattern tracing paper and use those as my pattern pieces. So I haven't cut up the actual pattern in here. And this is what came out. This is the loveliest colour though, isn't it? I think this is my favourite colour in the entire universe. It's that cross between pink, violet and grey, and it's just beautiful. So I'm pretty happy with it overall. I should be celebrating that I've actually made a top, and I am. I'm really pleased, and I will definitely be wearing it. But some things I learned. The first thing I learned is that my bobbin tension is too tight for this twin needle stitching, and it should be flat and it's kind of ridgy. That's okay. And also it's not very stable. If I do this, it'll gather. Can you see it just sort of gathers? So I need to do something about that. I need to do some investigation. What else did I learn? I learned that I need to do some bust adjustments because I have quite big bosoms, and so I need the size across here, but it makes this bit really baggy here because I haven't got the arms that match the bosom size. So I need to do some adjustments when I make my next one. That'll be Amy helping me for that, I think. Good old Amy. Oh, okay. The other thing is when I cut the pattern, my latest obsession with sleeves being too short, I decided to leave extra fabric for the sleeves and make them a bit longer when I cut the pieces out. And then I'd try it on and trim them and seam them. Thought that was a really good idea, and it was. But I tried it on, got the perfect size. Gosh, we've gone bright, haven't we? Shall I turn the camera down a bit? Is that better? Maybe. And I trimmed the first sleeve and ironed it and pinned it. I thought that's good. So I did the other one. Somehow I had a brain blip and I cut off an extra ½ an inch more than I needed to. So, which meant that I turned the cuff over by a shorter amount. The seam allowance should have been 3/4 of an inch, and I turned it over by probably just under ½ an inch. So I feel like my seam is kind of too close to the edge of the sleeve. I'd like it up here a bit more. But they're all nitpicky things really. And I will be making another one of these and lots of other things. My next make is going to be an Ogden cami, I think, because I actually need one for a lacy top that I bought. So yes, the lock tee, my first sewing garment. I think that's my first sewing garment. Yeah, I'd say it is. So I'm going to hang it up here. Oh, I love that colour though. Possibly should have divided this up a bit more sensibly because I've now got some more knitting. So anyway, oh hang on, let me get myself organised. In the making, I have another little rabbit sock. Oh, little poms. Looking at this, I think I've made the foot a bit big, but never mind. It's too late now. I'm not unpicking all of this. So this is my pattern Little Rabbit Socks, and this sock actually started out as just a Beautiful Bits scrappy sock, but I really love the colours, and I still am pretty addicted to bunnies and rabbits, so I thought, oh, I'll turn them into Little Rabbit Socks. So instead, on the original pattern, each colour change, there's a really cute stitch pattern which looks like seedlings, and also the stripes are larger on the original pattern. So this is kind of just a made up one really, but I used the toe, I used the heel, and I used the cute little bunny tails. Oh, so sweet, aren't they? So the bunny tails are made from Drops Boucle yarn, which is absolutely perfect, but you can use any leftovers, mohair. It doesn't even need to be fluffy, it could just be just normal yarn. But it needs to be thicker than a 4-ply, otherwise the little pom-poms are too small. The Drops Boucle says that it's Aran, so I guess any Aran, or I think even a DK or something would do, because it doesn't really matter to the fit of the sock, it's just the look. So yes, so these are my peachy bunny socks, and I had a lovely time going through my beautiful bits basket. I just love all of these gorgeous colours. Lots of them are from projects I've made before, and some of them are from advents. Yes, and this has my beanie toe, my Go Day heel, and it's just my basic sock pattern that I like to use. And these are little rabbit socks, so the pattern's in Ravelry if you fancy a go. Slightly changed though. So back to sewing for in the making. I follow lovely Olivia, who is Olivia Villarreal, I think you say her surname, but she is This Handmade Life on Instagram. She has the most beautiful feed, and she's really into making quilts. Well, I'm sure she's into making them all the time, but just lately she's put up lots of photos of her quilts, and they just kept seeping into my soul, and I was like, I just have to make a quilt. And to add to the story, it was Bryony's birthday recently, and we bought her a sewing machine and some bits to, you know, cutting mat and rotary cutter and things like that. And so she came around last weekend at some point over Easter, and we went through my whole fabric stash, which is quite sizable, and we pulled out the fabrics that we'd like to make a quilt each. And it was lovely actually to see the difference. She's very spring flower meadow, lots of blues and turquoise, a bit of yellow, a bit of pink, a bit of red, really pretty, and green. And I wanted a quilt to go with my sitting room, which is kind of quite neutral in some ways, but it's got lots of this kind of purpley pinky colour, foxglove colour, green, duck egg blue, cream, so all those kind of colours. So I picked out fabrics for that, and we cut all our pieces, strips, 2.5 inch strips, and I have a whole basket here. Look at so gorgeous. So this is my quilting basket. It's quite stuffed full, and I am making a log cabin quilt, and this I've made one block. Let me show you this. So this is my first ever log cabin. So I've been doing lots of first evers, just diving in and doing stuff. Managed to get some bunnies in. I hadn't even noticed that, but a couple of people pointed it out on Instagram when I shared a photo. Sorry, my voice is really gravelly. So yeah, my first log cabin. So I can't decide whether to just do lots of these and sew them together, or to sash them, so put a strip of white or kind of off-white around each square. So I need to make that decision, but I'm just going to carry on and make blocks. And actually tomorrow cricket starts for my husband Pete, so he's off to cricket, so I've got a whole day. George is away, Bryony's got her friends, so it will just be me. So I think I'm going to have a sewing day just for myself, and I'm going to make lots of these, so I'm quite excited. Bryony is doing a quilt as you go quilt, which is where you quilt directly onto squares of batting. So we're both doing different things, and yeah, it's really lovely to do things together like that. And so that is my last in the making. Okay, some dream knitting. I kind of have two dream knittings. I'll start with this one. This is in my beautiful new bag. Amy and I did a bag swap, Amy's little tailoress. And this is the one I got from her. Look at her lovely pin. Oh, it's so pretty. It's a dogwood. She's so clever. And this gorgeous bag, which is Liberty, which can't go wrong with Liberty. So I would like, oh, I'm feeling a bit bedraggled. I would like to knit the Zweig. and this has been everywhere. I think everybody who knits almost has a Zweig. So I thought I need a Zweig. So I did my swatch gauge rather, last night in this gorgeous, this is Dandelion. I'm not sponsored by Amy, I just love her. So this is Dandelion and Dogwood in their Peignoir colourway. You can see a bit better there. Oh, it's just beautiful. I knit my May kind of tunic from Peignoir. So pretty. And I'm also teaming it for the lace. I'm teaming it with Dandelion and Dogwood's Dandelion Wishes, I think it is. So this will be the body and this will be the lace. So that's really exciting. Not much to say because I haven't started it. I wonder this, I don't think this will happen, but I wonder if next podcast I'll have a finished Zweig, because this was finished, wasn't it, between podcasts? I think it's unlikely, but you never know. The pattern recommends 3.75, but I tried that, was a bit off. So I went up to a 4mm, which is normal for me, as I said before. So yeah, I shall hopefully get that cast on, probably tomorrow as well as quilting. So that's my dream knitting. And also I am going to knit a Find Your Fade shawl. And everybody who is a knitter, I'm sure, has seen this pattern, and it was really popular kind of, you know, a year, 18 months ago. And it's just now that I decided I'd like to make one. So I will show you more about that on my next podcast. So that's 2 dream knitting things. So very exciting. Just a little reminder that the Warm Heads, Warm Hearts Cal is still going on. And that's a knit along or crochet along that I'm hosting with the amazing Amy of Stranded Dye Works. And it's to knit hats or any other warm garments for homeless people. And it's been running since January, I think, maybe the end of January, can't quite remember. And it finishes at the end of April, so only a few days left to get your entries in. So basically knit hats or other warm things, but it's mostly hats, I think, that's been knitted so far. And then you donate them to a homeless charity or homeless people. And hopefully it will warm their heads and warm their hearts. And just give a little joy to somebody who really needs it. So both Amy and I have Ravelry threads where you are so welcome and encouraged to enter your cosy warm knits into, and we've been drawing prizes, and I have the most beautiful prize for the last prize draw, I guess, and I'll be drawing that the day after, I guess, this knit along finishes, so possibly on the 1st of May if I remember on that day. And let me show you what the winner will receive. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous prize. And I've actually wrapped it up neatly. So I'm going to show you a photo rather than show it to you here. So it's a beautiful knitter's necklace from lovely Catherine of Bed of Roses. And it's so beautiful. I love her knitter's necklaces. I'm actually wearing one today. They're so gorgeous. I just love knitter's necklaces, full stop. They're just beautiful. And Catherine is a lovely person, really sweet, kind and generous person. So the lucky winner will receive this. How exciting. So make sure you get your entries in. And also thank you so much to everybody who has already entered. There's so many gorgeous hats, knitted hats, crocheted hats. I love them all. I just feel they're just filled with love, and just think how many people they're going to touch. So lovely, isn't it? So I was going to have a section here called pattern news, but I guess I've already spoken about it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who bought my Little Rabbit socks and Little Rabbit's bag patterns. And I've already told you about my Mabel patterns. So I kind of already done that bit. I've even already told you about the kits that I'm going to be making with Kate Celine. So, oh, there's one thing I haven't shown you. 3 in the making. How did I forget that? I even have show notes. Okay. I'm also making another pair. I like to test my patterns quite a lot. And I'm making another pair of Mabel socks. So you can see the lovely Mabel cable now. I love calling it that. So I've told you all the details previously on this podcast, so it's exactly the same. I just knitted it out of different yarns. So this yarn is Neon Party by Maya at the Wool Barn. And this is a mini, really sweetly sent to me by my lovely friend Kay from the Bakery Bears. And that was from the Lay Family Yarns and Friends club that I am involved in. And basically what that is every month Kelly, who's gorgeous, from Lay Family Yarns has a dyer, one of her friends, so this month it was Kay, and every month I make lavender sachets from a gorgeous Liberty fabric, and both Kelly and the dyer, who's been invited by Kelly, one of Kelly's friends, dyes up some yarn to coordinate with the fabric. So this was one of Kay's colours. It's so pretty, it's kind of appley green, and it worked perfectly with this yarn from the Wool, which is so gorgeous. I've had this such a long time and I've been waiting for the perfect project. And I think these Mabel socks are. I've actually had a really busy week, actually a really busy couple of weeks. And after saying on my last podcast that my business is going to be changing and I won't be doing so much sewing, well, all I've wanted to do ever since that is sew. My back has been a lot more comfortable, so that has allowed me to do it. And yes, I've been working really, really hard in my shop. And I feel I need to show this because I want to explain something, but these bags are not available any longer. I just wanted to show these bags and tell you that the thing that I am doing is every now and again I'm going to do a surprise shop update, and I will just announce it on Instagram. So if you are interested in getting one of my bags or anything else that I make, I'd say the best thing to do is turn on post notifications for my account on Instagram, because I won't always do scheduled updates because I personally don't find them stressful, but I feel the stress from people who are trying to get something and they get carjacked and they have to set their alarm if they're asleep for a certain time. So I thought I will carry on doing those occasionally, but I really enjoyed doing the surprise update because it was much calmer. And also I found that people who have been struggling to get a bag for quite a long time managed to get one, and that makes me really happy. So I'll just show you very quickly these because they have some new design elements that I'm going to be adding to my bags. But these were sold yesterday, and these bags were inspired by all the bluebells at the moment. So what I wanted to show you is my new clip. So this is my new clip, and it's like a spring loaded clip, so you can clip on your scissors, stitch markers, progress keepers, anything that you need to keep safe, and it's attached by a little tab here. So that's my new improved tab. Not tab, what do you call it? A hook? No, not a hook. I don't know what to call it now. What is it? It kind of is a clip, isn't it? I should know these things. Also, I decided to add a handle so that you can have your knitting in here, put it over your wrist, and you can actually knit from your bag. Because I know lots of people like to do that, and so I thought it would be a good addition. And this is made of faux suede and is really, really soft and strong. and flexible. So yes, they are some new features that you'll be seeing in my bags. My next shop update will be the Mabel kits, I think. Hopefully they'll be kind of, well, they will be the same time as I launch the pattern. Okay, so I've had lots of requests about advents, and I hadn't really decided if I was going to do them this year because they are a lot of hard work, but I couldn't resist. I just love making them. I love planning them. I love sourcing gorgeous things to go in them. And so there will be advents from me this year. I've decided there will be drawstring bags. The actual bag will be a drawstring. And I'm doing 2 different colours this year. There's kind of a cranberry colour and kind of a duck egg blue colour. So I won't be listing them until sometime in the summer. I'm not sure yet, but I've already sourced some gorgeous things to go in them. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be the best ever so far. Yes, I can't say any more than that, but there will be advents, and yay for advents. I think that's everything. I feel like I was a bit all over the place today, but I'm sure you won't mind. So now I'm going to upload this video, pack my orders from yesterday, and yeah, I think I might start my swag this afternoon. Anyway, I'm wishing you a really, really lovely time until I see you next. Stay happy and healthy and happy crafting. Bye! And on my next podcast, I'm going to be doing and on my next podcast, I'm going to be giving. And on my next podcast.
Hello. Hey, Papa. Hey, Papa. What are you doing down there? Come on, sweets. This is my absolute favourite place to walk when the bluebells are up and about. Actually, probably is my very first favourite, actually. Oh, just look, it's just like blue as far as the eye can see. It's just absolutely beautiful. dabble, come. Do you want a treat? Go on. Hello. Better sit.